Hey guys, so the patch notes actually went up about 2 hours after I ended my stream. I wasn't able to cover it like I normally do, so instead we're going to just do a recording version of it. I still haven't actually seen the patch notes yet, so it should still all be fresh for me. For those who don't know, the patch will be sometime this Wednesday. We are seeing the release of Lenox, a brand new character with a very interesting kit, although I'm curious what her numbers are going to be. In any case, let's get right into it. Hello friends, Aesop here with another grand edition of Eternal Return patch notes. We've got some exciting new things for you and changes on the way, including a brand new character with a brand new weapon. Let us dive in. Lenox. Lenox the Angler arrives on Lumia Island. Note, she cannot be used in ranked matches for 1 week. Her passive, it gets her extra items when she fishes in any location on the map. She can't get weapons though. Every time she fishes, she has an 85% chance of getting a common, a 14% chance of getting an uncommon, and a 1% chance of getting a rare. She has actually another passive in addition to the fishing passive, which is Tackle. Every 20/16/12 seconds, normal attacks grant Lenox a shield that absorbs damage equal to 10% of her max HP. This shield lasts for up to 6 seconds. Honestly, like, the interesting thing about that is that the scaling is not in like the amount of shielding, it's just the how frequent it comes up, which I was expecting it to be the opposite. Like most characters that have shield passives, especially when they auto attack people, it tends to be that like leveling it increases the effectiveness of it, so it scales better. But the fact that this one just comes up more often is more of an interesting way of approaching it. Kind of like that. Q. Recoil. Lenox whips in a circle around her, dealing 40 to 160 damage with a 30% attack power ratio, damage to enemies. She deals extra damage equal to 6/6.5 all the way up to 8% of her max HP. So it's a 6 to 8% ratio when you max it out from level 1 to level 5. Basically what that means is she deals damage, a flat amount of damage to people around her. There's also a special ring a certain distance around her where if she hits you on the edge of the circle, it'll deal additional damage based on her max HP. Hitting an enemy grants her 1 stack, reducing the cooldown of recoil by 1 second with a max of 2 stacks. So if she hits somebody, it will reduce the cooldown. If she hits up to 2 people, it will reduce the cooldown even further, but it caps at 2. Cooldown is 4 seconds, which is pretty short, if a flat 4 seconds at all ranks. The SP cost increases from 30 to 110 as it goes up. That's a huge amount of scaling SP cost. Like going from 30 to 110 is a huge amount of increase. The range ratio is 4.5 meters. The edge ratio is 3 to 4.5 meters. Not sure why they're using ratio for that, but oh well. Snake Bite. Her W. Lenox snaps her whip twice, once in a circle around her, dealing 30 to 70 with a 0.3 AP ratio damage, slowing enemies by 20% for 1.5 seconds. Following that, she will attack in a straight line, dealing 40 to 180 with a 60% AP ratio damage and silencing enemies for 0.5 seconds. Not a very long silence, but that's 2 attacks for 1, and also if you like combine the 2 AP ratios, that's up to a 0.9 AP ratio if you hit both of them, which is pretty good. Hitting an enemy with the second part of her skill increases her movement speed by 20% for 3 seconds. It's actually kind of significant. So a lot of utility on this skill. A lot of things going on with just one skill. The cooldown is 12 to 8 seconds. The SP cost is 80 to 120. The first attack range is 3 meters and the second attack range is 6 meters with a width of 1.25 meters. This skill might be better than people are giving it credit for, honestly. Like when I first saw the animation, I didn't think it was that amazing, but the fact that we're seeing the numbers are actually pretty damn good, it's a lot of damage on that. But keep in mind, this has no max HP ratio, whereas I think a lot of her kit does have some stuff that scales off of max HP, so maybe it's not gonna be the best, but I think it will be pretty good. It seems like it's at least consistent and it brings a lot of utility. It's a lot of AoE, just seems good. Alright, her E, Whiplash. Lenox sweeps her whip around in an area. Wait, what? Sweeps her whip in an area around her, dealing 60 to 260 with a 0.3 AP ratio damage, and pushing or pulling enemies depending on the direction of the skill. Guys, if you have ever, and I know people hate comparing stuff to other, you know, League of Legends, but basically if you've ever played League before, if you've ever heard of a character called Thresh, he has a skill called Flay. Now what Flay does is it pushes or pulls in an area around you depending on which direction you're facing. It's basically the exact same skill. It is okay to compare it to it because it's essentially the exact same skill. I love Flay as a skill. I think it's really cool. It has a lot of potential for high level play. You can do a lot of cool things with it. You can pull people, you can push people away. A lot of utility, very cool skill. So basically her E is the same as Flay. We've seen the animation for it. It does the exact same thing. So it deals 2 to 260 damage with a 0.3 ratio. And enemies that are hit are slowed by 20 up to 40% for 1 second. The cooldown is 9 seconds, the SP cost 60 to 80, and the range is 4 meters with a width of 2.5 meters. The knockback is 1.5 meters for 0.5 seconds. Remember, it also comes with up to a 40% slow. Honestly, that seems like it's really good. Like, the fact that it's on a 9-second cooldown, which is not that long, the range, it's big. Like it's much bigger than Thresh's, I'm fairly sure. Like 4 meters with a width of 2.5 is pretty huge, and the knockback of, you know, 1.5, yeah, I don't know, it seems great. Plus the 40-second slow, like that skill just seems like that's a ton of utility. Blue Viper, her ultimate. Lenox quickly attacks twice in an X shape, dealing 75 to 225 with a 0.8, that's really high, 0.8 AP ratio damage, applying Blue Viper for 4/5/6 seconds. Blue Viper is that for that amount of time, enemies take 10, 15, and then 20 damage based on the rank for every 1 meter that they move. Hitting an enemy with both attacks deals. Ooh, so basically, since she slashes twice, if it just hits you with one of the slashes, it applies half the damage. If it hits you with both, it applies double the damage. So if you get hit by both, it's 20 to 40 damage for every 1 meter you move. I'm not sure how significant that's gonna be, like how much damage it's actually gonna be. It's hard to just mentally gauge what is 1 meter and how many meters can you travel in 4 to 6 seconds. It's really hard to actually figure that out. In any case, it's a cool skill. I like skills like this, and I'm interested in seeing how this plays out. Whip. Keep in mind, guys, this is the first ever whip character. Whip. Grappling whip. The weapon skill. It snaps a whip in front of you, dealing 100/150 damage with a 0.3 ratio. Damage to enemies hit and pulling them 2.5 meters towards you for 1 second. Enemies that are in range... enemies that are in a range less than 2.5 meters are knocked airborne. Okay. For 0.75 seconds. That's significant. The cooldown is 30/20 seconds, and the range is 8 meters. That's really long. It's a really long range whip. Keep in mind, guys, she now has a long range sort of pull towards you. She also has Flay. I'm not trying to say we got Thresh. I'm just saying. Very similar, some similar kits. I'm very excited for this. Honestly, I love being able to combine the whip skill with Whiplash. I think that's gonna be really cool. I think you're gonna see a lot of really cool plays with that. Now, as for whip weapons, guys, you should have expected this was gonna happen. The whips were horribly statted and completely like bizarre. So let's see, how much is actually being changed? Oh, so also whip mastery real quick. The normal attack range is 2.35 meters. Whip normal attack speed is 0.67 times per second, and the per mastery level attack speed 1.8%, extra normal attack damage 3%, skill amp 2%. Pretty decent mastery. So as for whips, let's see. Whip is just your base rope cuffs. I'm trying to think if these changed at all. Okay, so it looks like they took out the honeycod stake, unless I'm mistaken. So Thunder Whip builds... Okay, so Thunder Whip, I believe, was previously... Hold on. Thunder Whip was previously not an amp weapon. I'm 90% sure. It used to build out of Wind Whip and it was not. No. Okay. God, this is so strange. So basically Thunder Whip just builds out of Bull Whip. So it should be a blue? Basically, she has a 20% skill amp weapon option. She also has a 20 flat skill amp option that builds into... No, they still kept this in. Okay, so the 20 flat skill amp weapon builds for some reason... No. Oh, God, dude, I'm actually losing it right now. Okay, correction. Bullwhip builds into both Thunder Whip and Lightning Whip. Okay. The flat skill amp weapon, Wind Whip, builds into Gleipnir, so it does keep that flat amp going. So she has a 35% skill amp whip. She also has a pretty decent attack speed whip, and she also has, what is this, Thunder Whip as well, which I believe doesn't build into anything else. Yeah, it should be a blue that finishes at a blue, I'm pretty sure. So she has 2 purples, 1 finished blue, and Bloody Ninetails, which is 65% attack power. This is our VF sample weapon. 65 attack power, 40 flat amp, and 20% lifesteal. Not bad, considering, like, compared to Gleipnir, which is the flat amp whip, it's pretty good. Honestly, I also think that, what's it called? Thunder Whip might be super easy to make, because it's just Bullwhip plus gold. And Bullwhip is just Whip plus Razor, so it's just Razor plus gold to get a 20% amp weapon, but the attack power is pretty low. But you could very easily finish that between, like, say, oh, I don't know. I mean, any gold spawn, so beach, forest, pond, plus a Razor. Just pick a Razor and you're on the map. Wait a second. Am I crazy? So it's Whip plus gold. Can't you finish that entirely on... No, Razors got taken out of beach. Okay, never mind. I take it back. No, wait. Are Razors on beach? Hold on. Okay, whatever. I don't know. It's been a long time. Razors got moved around. They were in beach or they're now in beach. I can't remember which. Anyways, the whips seem okay. They don't seem amazing, but they seem okay. Ignore me. I'm losing it. All right. System changes. Solo mode kill bonus. In solo mode, kills will restore your HP and SP, give you a little more time on your countdown timer. This kill bonus can really shake things up, so we will monitor it and adjust it through the coming updates. HP and SP recovery. Your lost HP/SP will be recovered by 5+ killed targets level times 0.5%. A level 10 enemy will give you roughly 10% of your lost HP, which is pretty decent. It's not a huge boost, but it's pretty decent. You also get 5 seconds restored to your restricted area count, cannot exceed 30 seconds. It does not matter what the level of the person you kill is. This bonus is not affected by healing reduction, by the way. So basically what this means is you're not punished as much for taking fights in solo. Previously, if you took a fight in solo, there's a good chance you just instantly got third-partied after your fight and you lost it regardless. You basically had no say in the matter. So what this does is it makes it less punishing to not be the third partier in solo, which I'm down for. I'm gonna take some water real quick. Okay, so let's see here. Solo, so we already talked about that. Resting in the final zone. Now it is not possible to rest in the final safe area. You can rest by consuming the restricted area counts outside the final safe area. What I believe this means is the final box around the console. We're not talking about the final zone, we're just talking about the final box. If you get chased out of the zone or you need to get out of the final square to sit down to sort of reset your position in that final fight, you have 30 seconds to burn and you want to rest, you can still do that, but you can't do it inside the box. This is another change that I actually like. Minimap ping noise, and range adjustments. We have decreased the noise and range of in-game effects. So there it is. Tutorial, announcer voice. We have added an announcer voice to guide you through the tutorial. Spectator mode improvements. You can now see what players are crafting while spectating. Ooh, hey, any spectator improvements, I am all here for. You guys know I like to spectate a lot of games. Man, that's good. So I can now say like, oh dude, blank has finished their purple weapon first. I'm gonna watch them. That sounds fantastic. I can't wait. Great changes. Ranked improvements. If you gain 0 points before reaching promotion, your tier status as pre-promotion doesn't end, and you have one more chance to be promoted. It is now clearly displayed if you are up for pre-promotion or not. And we've slightly increased the worth of kills in solo mode. So basically they want to sort of disincentivize ratting, and they've also just made a couple of changes just to the promotion mechanics. Nadine, they said they fixed her Q last patch, but it didn't actually get fixed, so they're trying to fix it again. Magnus, his E knockback is now working properly. His R, Bike from Hell, now goes in the right direction while casting other skills after queuing up skills. And the bikes stop. Wait. Oh. Interesting. Are you able to stop on the bike? You shouldn't be able to, but I'm curious what pressing S on the bike will now do. I'm not really sure. Alright, let's look at Shoiichi. His E cooldown has been increased at rank 1, but decreased at rank 5. Going from, previously it was 15 at rank 1, 11 at rank 5. It's now 18 at rank 1, 10 at rank 5. What this is trying to do is sort of punish Shoiichi's E as a 1-point wonder, because previously, to my knowledge, Shoiichis were not putting more than 1 point in E early, or pretty much at all until they're forced to. So what this does is it nerfs it a little bit. This is a slight nerf to Shoiichi, but honestly Shoiichi's really good right now, so I'm not complaining. Sylvia. Duo and squad mode adjustments. Her recovery 5%. Okay, so I think what this is saying is her recovery in duo and squad is being taken down from 100% down to 95%, because she's sort of healing too much. But I don't know if this affects the targets that she heals. I can't say for sure. Shift gears, her R. The defense that she gains is being nerfed at rank 1, but buffed at rank 3. So it's going from 10/17/24 to 2/16/17. Or sorry, excuse me, 2/16/30. Adriana. Her attack power per level is going up from 2.4 to 2.7. Fire escape, her E, the burning time that is active is, wow. What? Hello? That's actually huge. That's a huge buff. Her E's fire that she leaves behind is going from 2 seconds duration to 5 seconds duration. That is a huge increase in the amount of time that fire is there. Honestly, it's going to be harder to just directly chase Adriana now, because that thing's like, it slows you from what it feels like. So basically, you can't just like sit in it and expect it to go away quickly. It's going to stay for 5 seconds now. Aya, in duos, she's going to be dealing 3% more damage with assault rifle, a very specific change, going from 85% up to 88%. Isol, his Q. So, okay, wait a second. Oh. Okay, so his Q, the route previously was a 1 second route at no matter what. Unconditional 1 second route. However, it's being changed. The route duration starts at 0.5, and the route duration is increased by 0.1 every time you auto somebody or enhance the Semtax bomb up to a max of 1 second. So it's the same as it was previously if you're actively attacking the target. However, here's what I don't get. Semtax bomb, it is an AoE when it explodes. I'm not sure if I'm enhancing the bomb on one target and it splashes to another target, does it carry the maximum route, or is it guaranteed to always be a 0.5 route on the splash? I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. Either way, I like this change. It's rewarding aggressive play, and it's making the skill more interactive. But I will say, guaranteed overall, this is a nerf to some extent, because it is now never going to exceed what it was previously, so it can't be considered a buff. It is simply just a nerf. But it's a good nerf. I like this kind of nerf. Emma. Okay, cool. We're finally seeing some Emma changes, because in my opinion, Emma was a little underwhelming. So let's see what we got. The SP regen per level has gone up. Good Dove Dealer, her Q, is going to be dealing more damage at max rank, and the SP cost is going down by 10. The indicator is now properly displayed normally while using Dove Dealer when the dove is revealed. Her W, 10% less mana cost. Her E, the range is being increased. Okay, now this is where the significant buff is, because those previous buffs, they weren't that significant, but they existed. Bunny Morph, the range is going from 4 meters up to 5.5. That's a pretty big range increase. And also the projectile speed going from 6 meters per second up to 7 meters per second, which is also a decent buff. Because here, honestly, her E was probably the most underwhelming part of her kit, despite on paper being the best part of her kit. Like, it looked like Bunny Morph was going to be insane, but then in practice, it was just really kind of lame. But this is a decent buff. The problem previously was that you would throw it out and it would just take forever to get to its target. It was short range, which didn't match the rest of her kit, so you had to get close enough to use your peeling skill, but then it, like, in getting closer, you put yourself in danger. So I don't know, it was jank before. Hopefully this puts it in a good spot. Let's talk about Yuki. Yuki, his attack power per level is going from 2.2 to 2.6, some squad mode adjustments. His damage dealt with two-hand sword is going from 92% down to 9%, I agree with this. And all modes adjustment, damage received when using dual swords is going down. They keep buffing dual swords on Yuki. I wonder when it's actually going to be enough to just run it over two-hand sword. Button Up. The 0.5 second cooldown reduction when being hit is being turned into a 0.5 second cooldown reduction when when hitting an enemy. The cooldown is also being changed from 20. Okay, it's actually getting its cooldown reduced by 2 seconds per second, but I think it's because in general he was sort of getting too much cooldown reduction, so it's probably a good thing. I'm gonna drink some water. Okay, Kiara. Kiara's Last Judgment, her R, now displays normally when activated. I'm not really sure what that means. Probably just a bug fix. Fiora, her R. Guard gets turned off automatically now, so it doesn't need to be restarted when resurrecting. That's good. Hyunwoo, duo mode adjustments. He's going to be now dealing 100% damage in duo with glove. First attack E no longer occasionally causes problems when used at the same time as a normal attack. Heijin changes. Shuriken adjustments. Damage dealt in solo mode is increasing again from 108 to 110%. Dual mode 100 to 102%. Squad mode 94 to 96%. Damage taken in solo mode is being reduced even further from 97% down to 94%, and duo mode / squad mode going from 100% down to 97%. Shukai no longer ignores Heijin Fear when using Burnt to a Crisp. Thank God they changed that, because that was frustrating. Because that was really like the only way to deal with Shukai as a Heijin was to turn him away. So one of the only counters to Shukai ult in general was Heijin. And then at one point it just got like broken, like 2 patches ago or something. It's been really annoying. Guys, let's talk about this. Shuriken Heijin, while I still don't think it's great, these numbers are insane. It wouldn't be surprised. The fact that she's dealing 110% damage and taking 94% damage, I wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing more Shuriken Heijin in general. Just because I think this could be broken by something, I just don't know what it is yet. Weapon changes. You can now craft guitars. Bamboo plus piano wire. Thank God. Stairway to Heaven attack power is being increased from 52 to 56. And Wonderful Tonight attack speed. Oh no. Oh no. Man, Wonderful Tonight didn't even have a patch where it was viable. That's so tragic. They finally made it so you could craft Wonderful Tonight consistently because they added a starter guitar. And in that same patch, they gutted it from 45% attack speed down to 18%. That is genuinely tragic. Oh well. Cloak and Dagger no longer occasionally drops invisibility. These are dagger changes. Mount Slicer is being nerfed from 35% skill amp down to 30. But the attack power is being increased from 33%, sorry, not percent, 33 up. Wait, did I say 30% for the skill amp? Sorry, the skill amp is not percent. It is going from 35 flat amp down to 30 flat amp. And the attack power is going from 33 flat amp to 35, or sorry, 38. God, I can't talk right now. 33 flat attack power to 38 flat attack power. Fragarak is getting a fat buff. Wow. That is a huge buff for Fragorek, going from 75 attack power up to 90. Big Shoiichi buff. Attack changes. Harp getting nerfed again, going from 38 flat amp down to 33. Dual swords. Dual sword mastery per level. The extra normal is going from 2.5% up to 2.8%. Nunchuck mastery per level. The skill amp is going, wow, okay, so the skill amp is going from 3% up to 3.5, or sorry, 3.3. That's actually a huge buff. Dude, the fact that it was previously at 3%, that was already really high, but going to 3.3, that's another big buff. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw more Spiny Dragon in general. Two-hand sword, Bastard Sword, and Twantian. Wait, they're just buffing him? Why? Why is Twantian getting buffed? Oh my god. Well, Twantian buff, it now slows you down less. Mono Hoshizawa is up to 74 attack power, and Dinesleaf is up to 80 attack power. Why are we just buffing Two-Hand Sword? Guys, I don't agree with this. I like really don't agree with this. Two-Hand Sword is one of the best weapon classes in the game right now. Like, as far as like melee attacking weapons go, like Two-Hand Sword is like the go-to best. Why are we buffing it? It doesn't need these buffs, in my opinion, anyways. Sniper changes. Sniper. Oh, okay, so it takes half the amount of time to get into sniper mode. That's good. I like that. Good change. Long rifle has no movement speed reduction. The Springfield harpoon, that's the starter rifle, by the way. Springfield harpoon gun, NTW, deadly ray, all of them, their movement speed being reduced from 0.1 to movement speed reduction being reduced from 0.1 to 0.07. Golden gun is down to 0.07. Railgun down to 0.03. TAC 50 has no movement speed penalty. Polaris movement speed reduction, ooh, going from 0.07 to 0.03, and the intervention is getting a little bit of attack power. So just across the board, lessening these movement speed penalties on snipers. Spear changes. Attack speed per mastery level from 0.4 to 0.7. Fangshin Huaji, so it actually has a decent attack, or not decent, but it has a not completely terrible attack speed scaling. Fangshin Huaji, skill amp getting nerfed again from 34 down to 31. Lance of Poseidon has no movement speed reduction now. And Dragon Guandao's movement speed penalty is going from 0.1 to 0.05. Honestly, Poseidon might be good again. Like, that's a significant change. Tonfa changes. Tactical Tonfa is up to 74 attack power. Keeps getting buffed every patch and people are still not using it. I wonder if it's there yet. 74, that's pretty damn high for a Tonfa. This thing went from like 45 to 74 attack power over the course of like 6 buffs. Pretty ridiculous. Mysok also getting a buff, going from 50 up to 54. David Sling, we have a nerf from 80 down to 75 attack power. Hammer of Dagda getting less HP regen, going from 250% down to 150%. The extra normal attack damage. Wait, what? Oh, so Hammer of Dagda is losing 100% HP regen, but gaining 20 extra normal? Interesting. That's interesting. Chest piece changes. Commander's armor going up to 18% amp, and that means Cabana is going up to 20% amp. A pretty nice buff. So basically, Commander's armor has the same percent that Cabana had at all times, but it has still very poor defense. Rocker's jacket, the normal attack reduction is being reduced from 15% down to 11%. Burgeonet going up to 18% from 16% spell amp. We're getting closer to the original amp numbers, guys. They were all taken down to like 14 or less percent at one point, but they're being bumped back up. These like heavy amp pieces are now actually heavy amp pieces being put up to 18%. Shah Jahan. The attack power is being reduced from 28 down to 25. It's now not just like almost on par with like Mithril Shield in terms of its attack power. It is a little bit less at 25, which is a significant nerf. Sword Stopper defense is being buffed from 28 up to 32. A significant amount of defense on an arm piece that you don't have to RNG for. It's basically, it's almost at auto arms level. You should not be sleeping on Sword Stopper anymore, guys. It's actually kind of decent. Steel Shield and Creed of the Night is losing defense, going from 25 down to 20, but the movement speed penalty is being lessened. So that is a bit of a compensation buff. Radar attack speed's being buffed from 35% up to 40%, a very significant buff for Radar, bringing it closer to Cube Watch's attack speed. leg changes. Feather boots are getting buffed from 30 up to 35. Dude, this has just been like a big buff for offensive stuff in general. Traps. Snare root has lost its root. So you can't just use a snare for roots anymore. Excuse me. Bamboo trap duration. Sorry, the root on the bamboo trap is being taken from 1 second down to 0.5 seconds. Bamboo trap was pretty ridiculous for a green trap, having a full 1 second root. Pendulum axes, however, are also being nerfed from 1 second down to 0.75. So they're reserving the 1 second CC effects only for the bigger traps like double guillotine and claymore, which I think is fair. Some of the spawn points on the outside of cemetery, pond, beach, and factory were moved more to the center. And now boxes should always open normally when clicked. These are just bug fixes. Names are now correctly displayed when pinging through CCTV, or pinging CCTV through Alt/left click. Character information now displays normally when clicking on store right after finishing a game. In store, characters, the already owned filter now functions properly. You can no longer start a game without a nickname after the tutorial, and you can no longer get stuck to/in between walls when using movement skills to pass through them. You're now able to hit enemies properly from max range after being in a state of unable to move, and unknown error no longer appears and stops you when your SP is lower than 100 and repeatedly trying to activate the hyperloop. Guys, that's it for the patch. That is, honestly, that was a longer patch than I was expecting. Oh, guys, I missed something. How could I miss this? Lace Quiver buffed. The attack speed going from 25% up to 30%, and of course, how could I miss it? Gojin. The crazy amp accessory getting buffed. Holy cow, getting buffed from 18% up to 20%. Gojin is verifiably insane at this point. I'm not sure why they're continuing to buff Gojin over and over. I think it's absolutely nuts. In any case, guys, that is it for the Lenox patch. We've covered absolutely everything. Lenox is here. Lenox is cool, and I can't wait to see her in action. Guys, if you had any similar reactions to me when it came to this patch notes, if you have some thoughts of your own and you want to sort of talk about how you feel about Lenox, how you feel about some of these balance changes, let me know. I want to hear from you. But in any case, guys, that's going to do it for me. I am looking forward to playing Lenox a lot myself, and I will be seeing you guys out there on Lumia Island playing Lenox. Have a good one, guys.